Hey, true believers, Englentine here with a few news stories. Usually I would do this as a live stream, but not this time. We're going to see how this goes out. I'm going to do a few news stories that I've noticed and I want to talk about. The first up, so Michael Bendis put this on Instagram. He says, 2019, a tease in 10 parts. Our annual tradition continues. If you're joining us, every year I throw out 10-part abstract tease of things that are coming in one shape, form, or another. These are teases. They are meant to delight and frustrate. There will be no follow-up questions answered here. It's a tease, you see, for fun. Let's discuss it at the end of the year. Thank you for an amazing 2018. You know, I wish I could say the same thing, Brian, but you have thoroughly messed up Superman. So I guess these are things that Michael Bendis are working on, and the first thing is Batman Beyond. Okay, first of all, I do want to start before we continue. And no, this isn't going to be saying, hey, you know, make sure you click like, share, subscribe, and go to my Patreon page and donate. That is just a given that you should always do that. Anyway, it used to be where I would get excited. Okay, yeah, all right, Michael Bendis, he's a name. He could do his job. All right, this is pretty cool, but that's no longer true. Now the name Michael Bendis means these are the titles I'm going to mess up for you this year. And that's how I see it. Now, Batman Beyond, there was an okay line. It was an okay series for Rebirth that never really thrilled me. It didn't exactly offend me either. It was just kind of there. So it's not hurting me as much. The next image here, we get Wonder Woman, her head. So obviously he's going to have something to do with Wonder Woman. Don't know what that is. Obviously, these are teases. I doubt he's going to take the series from G. Willow Wilson because she just started. So it might be a one-shot or maybe Wonder Woman in the Justice League Dark series. I would speculate upon a one-shot or a mini-series of some sort. So, yeah, but I don't think he's going to be taking the series from G. Willow. Apparently, well, we already know that he's in Superman. I only imagine that he's showing an empty costume because he's destroyed everything that is good about Superman. That would be my guess. But that's what we're here for. We're left alone with guesses. And the next image we have Thorn. Okay, but is it an idea of a triangle? Is that why he broke Lois and Clark up, so he could have some sort of love triangle? We've got Lois worrying that Superman is falling for another woman. That's what I'm thinking, because, you know, he thought it was a good idea that Lois and Clark not be together. But that's what I'm getting from this. I just don't know if is it a Thorn series or if it's that. But if I'm going to put my money on it, my money is that he's going to have some sort of love triangle going on. Next image, he's going to be messing up Batman. There you go. Or he's going to set something on fire, because we've got this right here going as well. I don't know. Okay, that's obvious. But it's an older style Batman, so I wonder if he's saying, hey, it's going to be like Legend of Dark Knight kind of thing. Okay, where do we go? Next. All right, that looks New Worlds. This definitely looks Jack Kirby design right here. No, it can't be now. We're not ready for him. Okay, oh, that's OMAC. That's OMAC right here. Yeah, okay. That's definitely an, oh, well, it actually says right here, Max. So, yeah, that's definitely OMAC. I was looking at the art and didn't see the box. This is the Legion of Superheroes right here. This is their logo. Little heads up, a lot of you people know that I'm a huge Teen Titans fan of the Marv Wolfman, George Perez era. I did a video talking about my origins as a comic collector, and I mentioned how the Legion of Superheroes is one of the first books I've ever read. I'm a huge fan. The Jim Shooter years are awesome. I got to say, my favorite series was the 90s one. It lasted 125 issues. It coincided with Legionnaires. I love that era for Legion of Superheroes. I'm a huge Legion of Superheroes fan. So the idea that Brian Michael Bendis is now going to get his mitts on the Legion of Superheroes fills me with dread. Absolutely fills me with dread. I would prefer to go to Tomasi, obviously, or damn near anybody, in all honesty. This is Polar Boy, and this is Wildfire's face mask from the Legion of Superheroes. Okay, so there you go. That's kind of like just doubling up on that one. I don't know. That looks like John Wick. Who are we looking at there? This one's got me. Is that Hitman? Maybe he's got gray hair on the side. Is that young Jason? The Demon? Is that Jason Young? Blah, 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 blah. You know who I'm talking about. Alrighty. Anyway, yeah, that one's actually kind of confusing me there. The guy's sitting there. He's got blood on his neck, which it could be from the pin. Could be maybe it's a vampire thing. I don't know. You guys tell me if you figured this one out. Let's see, what's the next one? Superboy? Oh, this is what's happening to Superboy and such. Okay, I see. I guess that could be it. Anyway, that's what Brian Michael Bendis is threatening us with for next year. Like I said, I'm a little bit nervous about how he might treat my my Legion of Superheroes. I'm not a big fan of him taking over that particular title. Now, this one doesn't have much to do with me, but I saw it and I thought, you know what? I'll put this up there, and I want to hear from you guys. This is audience participation here. I want you guys to tell me if you agree with it or not, because I tried to watch one anime with you guys and ended up losing my streaming rights. So, yeah, that didn't work out. Anyway, this is from someplace called Kotaku. And it says it's from someone named Cecilia D'Anastasio. And this is the 5 best anime of 2018. Now, I have nothing going here because I just started watching anime seriously. And I'm watching One Punch Man. So anyway, it says, anime wasn't very generous to us in 2018. There weren't as many wholly original standouts like in 2017 or 16, steady flow of genre-defining pillars. Adding to that, 2018 also gave us a couple of stinkers in the Thanks I Hate It category, an anime about God damn it, I can't talk today. Anthropomorphic, thank you, horse girls who race each other and are idol singers. A sloppily drawn anime called My Sister, My Writer, and Magic Girl, or an anime about a magic girl who looks like a buff man, which was just plain offensive. And yet there were a few standouts. They were damn good too. Allow me to help you swerve and swerve the bad and enjoy it. I cannot read. I'm sorry, guys. Alrighty. Anyway, I like the fact that they're saying, oh, they drew this girl like a guy and we don't like it. You know what? Nobody does. Nobody does. They're trying to make a statement and nobody likes that kind of stuff. Okay, so the first of the 5 they have is something called Agretsuko. Agretsuko? If you've ever worked in an office, Agretsuko will have you saying literally me at least once every episode. It's a too relatable anime about the rage that comes with working a crappy job. Red Panda named Retsuko works in an accounting department of a large Japanese company. Her day-to-day is a tug-of-war between her pushover tendencies and her pig boss, impossibly high standards and sadistic management style. Okay, well, that sounds boring. I don't know. Let's see. It goes on to say Retsuko stows away at a local karaoke shop, takes her microphone out of her purse, and shakes the place with covers of metal songs as Restuko, excuse me, I've been saying it wrong, discovers her capacity to stand up for herself and figures out what she wants in life. See, this is something where there definitely has to be an end, or after a while you're just going to be like, yeah, I'm not in there. It's kind of like when Ugly Betty stopped being ugly, and you're like, why are you still calling it Ugly Betty for the last 2 seasons? The next one up is called A Place Further Than the Universe. And it says, in this feel-good adventure drama, Mari Tamaki, a high school girl who has accomplished nothing of note, encounters a stormy upperclassman named Shirase Koboshizawa, I don't know if I said that right at all, whose one goal is to travel to Antarctica. That's where Shirase's mother, a scientific explorer, disappeared. Over the course of 13 episodes, Mari and Shirase along with the convenience store clerk and celebrity actress, because that's who you want to take on a trip to Antarctica, tenderly fall into deep friendship while they accomplish the impossible, becoming the first high schoolers to go on an Antarctic expedition. Let's see. Exhibition, as it says right there. I think they meant expedition. A place farther than universe gracefully and seamlessly describes what happens in the heart of four strangers. This actually sounds pretty good. Real stupid that you're bringing, you know, kids on a Antarctic thing, but okay. And I guess you can watch it on Crunchyroll. Asabi Isobase is the next one they mention. And it says, in a genre where schoolgirls always check one of the cutesy, beautiful, or brilliant boxes, Asabi Isobase, 3 middle school protagonists are gruesome brats, and it's a good anime about pretty garbage humans. It will have you in tears. The 3 girls form the Pastimers Club, where they torture each other playing low-stakes games like Thumb Wars or launching their shoes off their feet as far as possible. Often the loser has to do something grotesque like sniff the winner's armpits. Now I know why my cats grind his nose after my dad farts. Okay. Its humor is consistently absurd like Pop Team Epic, and its animation is diabolically ridiculous. Okay. That sounds kind of silly and stupid. The next one they have is Devilman Crybaby, and it says, there's never been an anime like this. It's a masterpiece. It's also very, very extra. That's a stupid sentence. Every episode is like coming up on psychedelics, getting kicked in the stomach, looking at some vibrant scenery, and then coming down as the sun sets. Devilman Crybaby is a brain-melting story about Akira Fudo, an emotionally sensitive high school boy on the cusp of adolescence, whose best friend, Ryo Asuka, believes he has scientifically discovered demons. At the same time, Akira begins his transition into Devilman and brutal, fiery demons who would be uncontrollable if not for Akira's defining empathy. Run-on sentence. Akira is exposed to a new reality of pain. Okay, it says it's not for everybody. It's transgressive, to say the least. And as unrestrained as it is, Devilman Crybaby is the kind of anime that will stick with you forever. Alrighty. And it's on Netflix. Maybe I'll give that one a try. And the next one is Violent Evergarden. Okay, a homeless, nameless child. When a naval officer found her, after seeing her defend herself in a crisis, the officer realized that she could become a tool for the army. Alrighty, let's see. It's a sort of anime that you could just melt in its Victorian-style world. And you can catch it on Netflix. This one, actually, considering what they're saying here, he takes her in, treats her like a weapon. I think that that might actually be something to look at. Okay, and then it says, honorable mentions, Megalobox, Layback Camp Pop Team. Now, once again, I haven't seen any of these. I figured I'll put this in this little news program. You guys can tell me if it's any good or not. I can't answer. Let me know in the comments below what you thought the best anime of 2018 is. And if it's on Netflix, I could probably, you know, if you've got one that's on Netflix, I could probably check it out. This one has me a little bit interested because it says Ruby Rose's Batwoman gets CW plot. I love stories like this because there's nothing to go on right here. And by that I mean the whole story is in the title. I mean, there's no reason to go forward here. I'm pretty sure it says she appeared on the crossover and a crossover scene with her was popular. Therefore, they decided to give her a thing. So, a series test. CW ordered a pilot based on Ruby Rose's Batwoman, who made her debut as part of the network's. Yeah, see, it's saying exactly what I said it would, because the whole story's in the title. The pilot will reportedly be directed by David Nutter, who directed the pilot of The Flash with... Okay, well, at least we know it's in good hands. How do I feel about this? I'm all right with it. She did very good. I thought she was fine. I thought the costume looked good in action. Yeah, there was nothing I had wrong with Batwoman's appearance. My only complaint was there wasn't actually enough of her, especially for all the hype and the build-up. I was kind of expecting more Batwoman in the Elseworlds crossover. But what I saw, I liked. The only problem I also really have with it is that I hope it doesn't go the CW route. I want it to be more Green Arrow, less Supergirl, basically. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. Ron Pearlman trolling the Hellboy movie reboot. And I know I've seen and I've heard that he's done this kind of thing before. Gosh, it looks so much better like 15 years ago than it did here, doesn't it? I like Ron Pearlman's so much better than his with his mullet and everything. But then again, I like Ron Pearlman as an actor better than that guy also. And he gave me a bad taste in my mouth for anything he ever did after he did that whole "I disagree with you, therefore I should punch you" thing he did at the Golden Globes. Let's see. Although former Hellboy actor Ron Pearlman has moved on from the character he played in the Guillermo del Toro films, he just couldn't resist posting a meme poking fun at the current trailer from the Neil Marshall-directed Hellboy, starring Stranger Things actor David Harbour. And let's see. It says, when you see the new trailer for the new Hellboy movie, oh, okay, it's from Ron Burgundy. It says, "You're not Ron." Yeah, that's actually the kind of feeling I got. He's absolutely right, because when I went to it, said, yeah, I understand what they're doing. It's just, that don't look like Hellboy to me. And Pearlman has been supportive but honest in interviews when asked about his feelings on the character and the franchise. Both Pearlman and his Hellboy co-star Selma Blair, who played Liz Sherman, posted responses to the trailer that was released last month. They chose to remember the good times spent filming the 2004's Hellboy and its 2008 sequel. Wow, it was 15 years ago. Dude, that's pretty rough. It's pretty rough thinking it 15 years ago we're still in the 2000s. Let's see, in a previous interview, Hellboy creator and executive producer Mike Mignola clarified that between Harbour and Pearlman's portrayals of Hellboy, he described Pearlman's Hellboy as smooth, almost adolescent with a different kind of love interest, while Harbour's incarnation is grittier and more emotional Hellboy with a bit more drama and edge. It's hard to explain, but it's a different take. The beauty is both of them in their own way feel like Hellboy. Well, I hope he's really saying that and not just saying that because he doesn't want the movie to bomb. I'm going to see it. It just, once again, it just looks weird because it isn't Hellboy to me. It isn't Ron Pearlman's. And the last story, and yes, I'm going to end up on a downer here. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Whatever you think of Bleeding Cool, they really do stay on these, and here's another store closing thing. They know that the industry is collapsing. They just, I guess, don't agree with why. Anywho, Mile High. Man, think about that. There's a Mile High Comics that is going to go out of business. Now, granted, it's not Mile High completely, but it's their Glendale store. It's been open 28 years. The article says Mile High Comics is one of the biggest comic book stores in the USA with a massive online warehouse that dwarfs everyone else. But as of 2019, it will have one fewer stores, one with quite a history. At the end of December, between Christmas and New Year's, their Glendale, Colorado store was cleared out, stock redistributed to their other stores, and this is the explanation that the owner had given. When we first opened our store, we had inexpensive rent, abundant parking, a really nice landlord, and a huge celebrity sports center right across the parking lot. All of that changed beginning with the demolition of the wonderful amusement complex filled with swimming pools, water slides, bowling alleys, and let's see, in 1994. Parking is now non-existent. We have a new landlord, and our rent has gone up 350%. Sadly, it's time to go. Well, actually, if you notice there, he didn't blame the comic book industry at all. Just saying. It's with a heavy heart that I must pass on to you news that we are closing our Glendale location permanently on December 31st. Our decision was based upon many factors, including rising operation costs, intolerable parking shortages, and the lack of air conditioning. That would do it. Well, then again, I'm in Florida, but that would definitely do it. As well as the departure of store manager Aaron Tucker, who Chuck calls the heart and soul of this wonderful operation for 20 years. We simply cannot conceive on continuing to operate this location without its boundless energy and enthusiasm. Alrighty, ding. That guy's got a collection, by the way. I saw some of it in a documentary. It's like, holy Toledo, I wish. Just wish. Anyway, he says, we had a truly awesome, dedicated core of devoted comic fans whose patronage kept that wonderful little store alive for 28 years. but the complete lack of parking in that shopping center made a mockery of the $5,000 plus in rent that we were paying each month. Holy Toledo. Especially for a smallish second-floor location. On a closely related topic, I do want to urge everyone who reads my newsletter to please resolve to support their local comic retailers during 2019. The economics of selling new issues has become total madness, as the cover price of periodical comics now reach up into the $5 copy range. With comic retailers buying non-returnable, an arrangement that I helped to pioneer in the late 1970s, all the risk is upon them as regards unsold product, and that worked well when cover prices were under $1, but today high cover prices are causing crippling losses to comic retailers wherever a title sells fewer copies than expected. To illustrate what I mean, take note of the number of new comics that your local retailer is sitting on his shelves that are over 2 weeks old, based upon the traditional measure in this magazine business that 90% of the sales on any given issue occur during the first 15 days after release. Those unsold copies are essentially a lost cause. A few may yet sell, and there is always some long-term residual demand as back issues, but for the most part, those unsold issues have just declined in value by at least 90%. Sadly, even the best and the brightest retailers misjudge on occasion, and the consequence of unsold new comic stock can now be devastating, with a wholesale cost of upwards of $2 each. Any significant number of unsold comics can easily wipe out an entire week's earnings for a comic specialty store in a heartbeat. Simply put, the risks of selling new comics in a comic specialty store now far outweigh its rewards. Holy Toledo. You know, if you would believe anybody about the industry, it has to be the owner of Mile High Comics. This is the biggest and most famous comic book shop in America. Yeah, I know they're contenders, but no, I think they are. Anyway, yeah, wow, truth to power, right? That just that right there just lays the industry down, in my opinion. Anyway, that's all the stories I have. I know it's kind of a downer, but I really thought what he said about the comic book industry was poignant. However, what do you think about all of these stories? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, please click like, click share, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that notification bell, because it seems that's what YouTube pays attention to if they decide to do their jobs at all and actually notify the people who subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, this is a way I'm trying to make a living. If you don't mind helping out, go on over to Patreon. Drop $1 in the till. Help keep the lights on. Help us keep making videos for you. That's the most important part. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.